Maya Angelou.
Pray for the dead. Fight like hell for the living. Mother Jones.
What more have we to give to one another than love and understanding? Kenneth L. Patton, UU Minister.
The liberation of the earth, the liberation of women, the liberation of all humanity is the next step of freedom we need to work for. And it's the next step of peace that we need to create. Vandana Shiva.
For a seed to achieve its greatest expression, it must come completely undone. The shell cracks, its insides come out, and everything changes. To someone who doesn't understand growth, it would look like complete destruction. Cynthia Ocelli.
On this day of wondering, waking, and resurrection, let us worship together. The old ways, Easter, Ostara, spring or vernal equinox. These are celebrations of renewal, rebirth, and growth. Jewish Passover celebrates liberation, freedom, courage, strength, and hope. Easter celebrates resurrection, rebirth, sacrifice for love, and hope for growth. These are the traditions we all came from. Some of us remember these celebrations with families and loved ones. Surely all of us are longing for the time when we can celebrate together again. As humans, we crave community in some form or another. And for us to be isolated as we are now goes against our own nature. Yet here we are at a time of celebration that many of us have spent always together as a family, trying to adapt to a new normal. And it is our nature to reach for human contact. For some of us, this time of isolation has brought us into quiet introspection and internal examination, which can feel dark and lonely. We forget, though, that in order to have light, we must have darkness. Take seeds, for instance. Seeds need a time of darkness. They settle in and stretch their roots. They use the sacrifices of their mother plant's nourishment through the soil to reach for freedom in the light. They find their nourishment and balance in the dark. As they get comfortable in their footing, they reach for the light. They grow in hope of being bigger, better, and nurtured by love. This is us right now. Our entire world is grasping for a footing into a renewed sense of reality. We may not know what that will look like or what it will feel like, but we know one thing for sure. It will be shrouded with love. That's how Mother Nature works. She loves and cradles and nurtures as she heals all with love. Grandparents may not be able to watch grandkids hunt for eggs this Easter. Cousins may not gather and play games together this Easter. Aunts and uncles may not share favorite family dishes this Easter. All of us may not be able to hug our friends and families or spend our time next to fellow congregants in our places of worship together this Easter. In the book, Living Beautifully by Pema Chodron, a Buddhist monk, she talks about the thing that causes us the most distress is the fact that we human beings want to keep things steady. We scramble for certainty, even when we live in a world of constant flux, a creation always creating more, everything changing. Things get even worse for us when we're stressed out or triggered. We tend to hold on even tighter to whatever handholds we can find, even the deeply problematic ones. She writes, "What a predicament. We seem doomed to suffer simply because we have a deep-seated fear of how things are." Her suggestion for finding the spiritual taproot of open-hearted living is to feel the feelings, but drop the storyline. Feel the feelings, but drop the storyline. to feel the anxiety, the discomfort, the hopelessness, directing your full attention to the pain of whatever now you are living, breathing in and out from the spot that hurts, but letting go of any story that you have concocted about it. The stories that keep us so wrapped up in a narrative that we can't recognize the teacher, the friend, the awakening, the way through. But there are things we can do. Love big. Reach out to your families. Send virtual hugs and kisses to your loved ones. Write letters and emails. Post pictures and share funny memes, yummy recipes, and innovative ideas. Staying isolated is a small sacrifice to make when it is done with love, and we are not alone. We love ourselves and each other enough to keep each other safe. This is a year for sacrifice, renewal, and rebirth into a whole new world full of new normals. Let us embrace those new normals and enjoy them as they blossom into the light. Let us use this time to regenerate our soil, Mother Earth, by planting trees, vegetables, and flowers. Let us continue to find ways to reduce our carbon footprint by not traveling as much and instead finding enjoyment where we are. Our earth, seas, and atmosphere have already begun showing signs of amazing things that are happening from the absence of human pollution over just the last few months. That is how interconnected we are. I love the message of this song, Rise Up. But often when I'm in the thick of it, when I'm broken down and tired, and when the voices in my head are shouting all their bad advice, and the fighter in me is just down for the count, I have no clue how to rise up. No matter how much I want it or how much I need it, I don't know how on earth to rise up. Does that ever happen to you? The many stories of Easter have the same message. There are like 10 different ways that the gospel writers were trying to talk to their people about rising up, about how they were going to walk it out, even in the midst of an incredible blow to their community. Their teacher, their movement leader, Jesus, had just been executed, and the days ahead looked hopeless. Everyone in that community was devastated. In our faith tradition, we think of the story of Easter as a metaphor for waking up to the central power of Jesus' message, the real of reality, that God, or the sacred spark, or the spirit of life, or however you want to name it, is in each and every one of us, and that when we commit ourselves to that reality, that the godliness in me is deeply connected to the godliness in you, then the world changes. Believe it, live it, and we move mountains. Heaven comes alive on earth. That's what Jesus preached.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up in silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we would take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains, and I'll rise up. I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other. And we will rise, we will rise, we'll rise. Oh, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times